Visa period 2022 to 2024. I could have stayed in the Philippines and bought a home for the amount it cost to take my wife and her son to America with a spousal visa. I will briefly outline the cost of obtaining an American visa from the Philippines for going to the US. Details of what we experience with price, time, how both governments screw the applicants and sponsors for medical exams, applications, visa cost after arrival in the USA, and the time it takes for a legal and illegal immigrant to get a visa will follow. We hired a visa application service to ensure the process was completed in a single submission to the US government. Little did we know the hurdles, seemingly endless original document requirements, and unheard of cost we would face before applying, and after we arrived in the US. We found that it would be easier to enter the US illegally than to enter legally. If we arrived in the US illegally in 2024 and without identification, we would have been entitled to free housing, medical care, dental care, food, transportation, identification, and rights typically not afforded to immigrants and their sponsors, who must apply for a visa legally and wait 2 years or more. Never become so desperate that you try entering the US illegally. I would not recommend entering the United States of America illegally. There are now severe penalties for entering the US illegally that could include an infamous torture prison in El Salvador or any other country. List of expenses during the visa process. Visa processing service. 121,875.00 Philippine pesos, 2,237 US dollars and 80 cents, includes the following: 3,000 pesos courier fee, 26,750.00 pesos filing fee, petition, 15,900 pesos embassy fee for interview, 16,260 pesos adult medical exam for people over 18, 10,835 pesos for each child's medical exam, 148,610 pesos, $2,772.20 US, total for one adult and one child. Medical exams were performed at St. Luke's in Manila, the only hospital recognized by the U.S. government for a simple medical exam that may cost less than 2,000 pesos at your local hospital. We had to pay 27,095 pesos for a simple medical exam, which included one adult and one child in the Philippines, before applying for a U.S. visa. Was this a scam? We had to fly to the hospital after waiting a year and a half for the U.S. government to make the appointment. You will receive the results of your medical exam a week after the examination, which you will then submit to the American Embassy. The embassy will make your appointment a week after your medical exam. 600 pesos transportation cost to go to Tacloban Airport from the house. 500 pesos transport cost to go to the rented condo from Manila Airport. 500 pesos transport cost to go to Manila Airport from the rented condo. 600 pesos transport cost to go home from Tacloban Airport. A total of 2,200 pesos for land transportation costs, and the costs continue before and after entry into the U.S.
3,488 pesos each. One-way flight from Tacloban to Manila for my fiancé, her child, and me. 19,464 pesos total. 19,200 pesos return flight to Tacloban from Makati. 10,784 pesos. 1 week stay in Makati. 5,200 pesos for food while in Makati for 1 week. 7,269 pesos for a trip from Tacloban to Manila in April 2024 for 2 adults and 1 child. Plus additional charges for luggage. We waited in Manila for 2 nights before taking our connecting flight to California. All flights are one-way. 27,550 pesos Las Vegas to Detroit for 2 adults and 1 child. 1,642 pesos taxi from the U.S. airport to my house. 318,419 pesos total for flights and ground transportation. Disclaimer: do not rely totally on my figures, scheduling practices, or other information. All of this can change without notice due to the decisions, discretion, discrepancies, or various changes of airlines. Ground transportation, the U.S. and Philippine governments. Governments and businesses have been known to make changes to information and policy, which may be implemented without notice. 76,500 pesos Manila to California for 2 adults and 1 child on the cheapest flight found using cheapoair.com in March 2024. This was the most affordable flight cost during my 8 years of flying back and forth from the US to the Philippines. Using the same reliable flight scheduling service on the internet with the best rates for the lowest economy flights available at the time of scheduling. I paid as much as $1,500 US one way in the past. I always fly one way to allow myself to leave any country without being obligated to stay up to the scheduled return flight. I give credit to cheapoair.com for keeping the flights low. I do not have any special arrangements with this company. Note that flying between Monday and Thursday, avoiding summer school breaks and holidays, will give you more affordable rates. Cheapoair.com may offer alternate dates or times at a lower rate. This was provided to us and is offered to anyone if there are cheaper dates around the time you are flying. We saved $100 US for each ticket before ordering, bringing our combined total savings to $300 for the flight to the US by choosing an alternative date 2 days later. Airlines operating in the Philippines have a policy concerning luggage. Instead of honoring international check-in luggage weight of 23 kilos, the rate is reduced to 20 kilos per check-in at an additional cost for checked baggage. This is being done to take more money from passengers. If you require a weight exceeding 20 kilograms, you will incur extra costs. I found that AirAsia has a more favorable luggage check-in. You might want to order a copy of my book, Einstein-Rosen Bridge, which is a sci-fi adventure I am sure you will enjoy reading. This exciting book features many twists and turns after Mike returns from a wormhole. Mike helps many people after exiting a wormhole, including the rescue of a young girl who was taken for human trafficking, winning in Las Vegas using his expanded mind, creating a new way of fighting without actually fighting, making a worldwide company go bankrupt after he finds out they were corrupt, helping a dog find a home, and always helping the unfortunate while stopping big business. Go to Amazon.com and type in the search box Einstein-Rosen Bridge in paperback or hardcover. Look for the black and white cover shown here. Thank you.